Hey, I'm Tim McMahon, host of One Nosh on BCAN. All month long, we're celebrating music in our schools, but schools took on a different meaning this past year as we learned that any place can be a school and any person can be a student. So with that in mind, I decided to pursue a hobby I've wanted to try for a long time, playing guitar. In early February, I visited Heights Guitar on Reynolds near Airport and purchased a Starfield acoustic guitar at the recommendation of my friend and musician, Devin Krueger. Throughout the month, I attempted to learn the instrument with the help of YouTube, a book on basic guitar chords, and my brother, who plays in his spare time for fun. Today, I'm taking my next step as I've invited Devin into my home for my first official lesson. Devin, thanks for being here. Let's get started.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Devin, you're a guitar instructor here in the Toledo area. Where do you teach? Where can people find you?
I've always done some house lessons as well as I teach at Music Around, which is a music shop by the mall, locally owned, and I rent a room there and been teaching there for about 6 years. It's a great time, and luckily, we've still had students coming through with everything going on this past year. Once everyone got past the initial scare, we mask up, we double mask up, and we still get to go and attack this and do it in person, which is a vital part of learning, being able to do this one-on-one interaction.
And you also play in a local band too, right?
I do. I play in a couple groups. One of my own groups is called the Krueger Trio. There's a couple different variations of that depending on the venue, but that's because we love to play so much variety. So we can do a jazz brunch at one venue and then do a rock trio, maybe bring out an organ player on like a Friday, Saturday night, and then maybe we just bring out the acoustic guitar for a Monday or Tuesday night and get to sing all my favorite pop tunes and just do the singer-songwriter thing for a while, and it keeps my little ADHD brain happy to be able to do all these things and bounce around and never get bored.
If this is my first class, if I'm coming out to Music Around, do I come with a song in mind, or do we just start with basic chords? Like, how are we gonna do this? Walk me through what we're gonna do.
Absolutely. So when someone comes in, first comes the first, if they've really never picked up a guitar ever, we'll go through and talk about the anatomy of this instrument. What are the things called, and go through all that. But after we get past that point, I do like to know a song or a genre or an inspiration. I wanna know what makes them wanna pick it up, especially older students.
Well, I think for me is I've always loved music. I've always loved hearing guitars and songs and wondering like how can I play that? Like I mentioned, my brother plays and I've watched him play before, and I just thought, I don't think I could be able to do that. I thought maybe my hands are too stubby. I didn't have the patience. We all have a little bit more time nowadays, and I figured what the heck. So that's why I'm doing it. And so we're going with Green Day, Good Riddance, Time of Your Life, because it has pretty familiar, basic guitar in it, correct? But also a little challenging too.
And what's great is it has different levels too, and you can go in a lot of different directions with it. So for anyone who's familiar with guitar right now, there's only 4 chords in the song. We have a G chord, and for people who are familiar with the G chord, I've added a finger, and that's because we're doing kind of what I like to call the cheat G and C, which is when you can just move 2 fingers, go between the 2 chords. For people more familiar, they know probably these 2 shapes. But anyways, we have these 4 chords, G, C, a D, and an E minor. So, for instance, our very first note for this G chord, so we'll be on the 1, 2, 3, 3rd fret of our low E string,
which is the top one.
A number 2 written in there.
A middle finger.
So that's our very first note. Good. So after that first note, go ahead and finger that one again. You don't have to push down, by the way. You can just let it sit there. If you sit there and clamp down on it for this whole time, you're gonna tire your fingers.
Okay, so it's just there.
Yeah, just have it there.
So I play it, but when I play it, I gotta clamp down.
You do. And in fact, there's a lot of times where we don't push down on a note, but we let them sit there and they're ready to go. And our next note, let's go ahead and attack that first finger. Now this is gonna be the tricky step, is getting that in place and not allowing our second finger to get in the way or move, correct?
So we're playing just a second, or are we playing both?
We're gonna try and play both, but first I wanna see if we can hear the new note. which is great that we can hear it like that, but can we do it while that second finger is back in place?
Well, it's just sitting there or not, or pushed
Push down now.
Okay.
So this is going to become the real homework for you, because I could try and go over there and manipulate your fingers, but really what it comes down to is this constant moving of your hands and feeling where you can get this string to ring underneath cleanly while maintaining the first note.
Wait.
But you let go.
I let go.
Now, if you wanted, like if, you know, switching back and forth right now is tripping you up, you could even just finger the first note and just see if you can do that and the open A string. Because honestly, the open A string shouldn't be vastly different from putting in that second note. It's mostly just getting over not letting that second finger cover the next string.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
So
That's it.
really feel and look at how your second finger is right now. There we go. That would be doable.
And it's like a
doesn't take much.
millimeter, yeah.
And that's why it doesn't work when I move someone's finger, because it's tiny little movements that really make the difference here. So it's being vigilant and just letting you feel when can you get that note. And as soon as that's clear, then we can start thinking about adding the next note. Let's give it a whole thing of strum. There we go.
All right.
Not bad?
Not bad, thank you. We'll stop recording here for now, but we'll continue with the lesson because I want to learn more of this. But I think it's just really cool to learn. I mean, I didn't know that, and it feels awkward, but it's just getting used to it.
And the truth is, I still get awkward chords. That never goes away. It's always these new shapes, and learning to deal with it is really the process.